Pracharini. Why is the strength so low today? Let's begin with the bhajan.
Yes, Mataji.
In the meantime, others might join.
Okay, Mataji.
Hmm. So this is a very famous kirtan. It's called Bala Mukunda Ashtakam. I think all of you have heard of it. Kararavinде Kadara Mukharavinde Shayantan Vatasya Patrasya Puteshanan Bala Mukundam Sasmarami Samvritya Loka Vatasya Madhi Satya Shayana Madhyantari सर्वेश्वर बालं मुकुन्दं मनसा स्मरामि इन्दीवरश्यामको इन्द्रादिदेवार्चितपादपद्मं सन्तानक बालं मुकुन्दं मनसा स्मरामि लम्बातम्नं शृङ्गारपङ्क्तिं बिम्बात् बालं मुकुन्दं मनसा स्मरामि सख्ये नित्यद्यापयुक्तति गाहिर्गदाय काय भुक्त्वा बालं मुकुन्दं मनसा स्मरामि कलिङ्गजन्तास्तिकैकस्य स्थानाग्रस्य तत्पुच्छः बालं मुकुन्दं मनसा स्मरामि उल्लूखलितमुखोक्षम् उत्तुङ्गपद्मार्जुनपङ्कज्ञ उत्तुङ्ग बालं मुकुन्दं मनसा स्मरामि आलोक्यमाधुसमतिलन्तं शशमोक्षं तच्चिन्मय बालं मुकुन्दं मनसा स्मरामि हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम. Anybody wants to read the translation? You can unmute and start reading. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, can I
Anybody?
read?
Yeah, start now. You're right.
With my mind, I think of that child Mukunda, who with his lotus-like hand catches his lotus-like feet, and brings it near his lotus-like face and steals our heart, and sleeps peacefully on a banyan leaf. He who gives immortal bliss. With my mind, I think of that child Mukunda, who after this dissolution of the earth sleeps on the middle of the leaf of a banyan tree, whose form has neither end nor beginning, who is the God of all, and who is the incarnation of good for all. With my mind, I think of that child Mukunda, who has a pretty dark mane with the color of a blue lotus, whose lotus like feet is worshipped by all Devas and Indra, their king, and who is wish giving, who is the wish giving tree, blessing progeny to those who pray for it. With my mind, I think of that child Mukunda, who has locks of hair falling all over his face, who wears long, pretty hanging chains, who has rows of nectar like teeth that shine with love, who has reddish lips like a bimba fruit, and who has a very pretty, captivating eyes. With my mind, I think of that child Mukunda, who acts as if he's sleeping after eating. Butter sufficient to meet his desire when Yashoda had gone out after keeping milk and curd in a pot. With my mind, I think of that child Mukunda, who has got a face like autumn moon, and who, while he was on the stone in river Kalindi, desires to dance on the hood of the snake Kalinga, holding his tail by one of his hands. With my mind, I think of that child Mukunda, who is tied to a mortar, who is charitable and heroic, who broke the twin Arjuna trees playfully, and whose eyes are like fully open red lotus. With my mind, I think of that child Mukunda, who lovingly looks at his mother's face when he drinks milk from her, who, who is having eyes like the lotus flower, who is unalloyed form of truth, and who is the God with limitless form. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you so much, Navya Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, which class do you study in, Navya Mataji?
7th grade Mataji.
7th grade. Very nice. And where do you stay?
I'm in Chennai Mataji.
Oh, okay. Do you want to come to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthday on March 25th?
Where Mataji?
ISKCON Mangalore?
I will try to come Mataji. I think I
Yeah,
know my holidays, so I'll try my best.
yeah, please. All of you, please, because NNE Prabhuji is planning for a great festival. All of you try and come there. We can all meet. Okay?
Yes
Uh,
Mataji. With
sure, yeah.
Krishna's blessings.
Yeah, with Krishna's blessings. Very nice. So now we will begin with Varaha Avatar. So what is Varaha incarnation? Which form is it? Anybody?
A wild boar.
Wild boar. Why did he come to this earth in the form of Varaha?
He came to save.
And he came for two purposes. Anybody? He came for two purposes, right? One was
to save mother from
yeah,
Hiranyaksha, like
mm,
to
to kill Hiranyaksha and to save Mother Earth from Hiranyaksha, right? And where was Mother Earth hidden?
Under the sea.
Which sea is it?
I don't know Mataji.
Anybody? No one knows. So it's called Garbhodaka Ocean. Okay, so Hiranyaksha hid Mother Earth deep inside at the bottom of Garbhodaka Ocean. And why did Lord Vishnu take the form of a boar? Why not some other animal? What was the significance?
because the ocean was very filthy and only
Ah,
like pig can go there and no other
yeah,
animal.
exactly. Haribol, very nice. All of you are so attentive. I'm so happy. And and how did Varahadev appear? How did he first appear?
From the nostril of Brahmadeva.
Yeah, nostril. What was the size of Varahadev?
The tip of the thumb.
Yeah,
Like
Haribol, yes. half of the thumb, like half of the thumb. Okay, very nice. And then he gigantically grew and grew and grew. And when he grew so much, everybody started contemplating, started guessing, who could this be? It cannot be a normal human being because he's performing superhuman activities. Not everybody can perform such superhuman activities. We need special powers for that, right? So everybody started guessing and guessing. And finally, when they were guessing, what was Varahadev doing? He was roaring. A wild boar, right? And he was roaring tumultuously like a mountain, right? And then everybody started guessing this cannot be a normal human being. So they all started guessing that it is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is Vishnu himself, right? So everybody started praying. So when we get to know the Lord is in front of us, the first thing a devotee does is offers obeisances and starts glorifying, starts praying and describing the Lord in Bhagavati Uttama Shloke, right? Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. So we glorify the Lord with the best, choicest of the words. Not all words are fit to glorify the Lord. Even in the good, best words that we select, we still select the best of the best words and then we start glorifying the Lord, right? So the omnipotent Supreme Personality of Godhead enlivened Brahma and other highly elevated Brahmanas by again roaring with his uncommon voice, which echoed in all the directions. You can visualize. He's huge, he's grown up. If you just see the sky, you can only see Varahadev, nothing else. So he's so huge and he's just roaring and roaring. And his voice is echoing all the four directions. Right. So this is certainly enlivening for all the demigods and Brahma and everybody present there. Right, when great sages and thinkers who are residents of Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka heard the tumultuous voice of Lord Bor, which was the all auspicious sound of all merciful Lord, the chanted auspicious chants from the three Vedas. This is what I was saying. We choose the best of the best shlokas to glorify the Lord, right? And especially we take these shlokas from the Vedas. Vedas, how did Vedas originate? Anybody knows? How did Vedas come to this world? No one knows. So, Navya Mataji.
Mataji, Vishnu passed it to Brahma through the heart.
Yeah, that's how it came. How did they originate? Who created? How did Vedas get created?
Isn't it Vishnu, Mataji?
Yeah, how? Through the pores of his skin. So skin has pores, right? We all have skin and it has pores, right? Through which the hair grows. So through the pores, it seems that a lot of universes came out. In the same way, even Vedas came out. There's another interpretation where Lord breath, the breathing in and breathing out process of the Lord Vishnu. Through that also Vedas originated. And those Vedas were passed on to Brahma from heart. Okay, it was through heart to heart. That's why it's called Apaurushaya. Okay, so Vedas are very dear to Lord Vishnu. He is himself created it, right? So when we have to glorify the Lord with best of the slokas, demigods, learned personalities take it from the Vedas. Okay, and even Puranas are also coming under that category, Vedic knowledge, Bhagavatam, and everything else, right? So all these people, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka is Brahmaloka, and Janaloka, Tapoloka, all these people are very sages, like all sages, learned sages only stay there in Tapoloka, Janaloka and all that. Okay, so those are very learned people, right? Sages with so much knowledge and all. So they have Vedas like tip of their tongue, they have Vedas. Okay, so they started glorifying the Lord by chanting the auspicious chants from the three Vedas. Playing like an elephant, he entered into the water after roaring again in reply to the Vedic prayers by the great devotees. So now what did the Lord do? He heard them glorified. So all of them got to know it's Vishnu himself. They're glorifying him. And now hearing the glorification, he's very happy. So he's roaring more and more. Okay. After roaring more and more, what he does, he takes a dive inside the ocean. Okay. Garbhodaka ocean. He goes deep inside the ocean. Okay. And he's come to fulfill the purpose, right? Purpose is to take Mother Earth, save her. So this is Mother Earth. He takes her and comes out, right? So the Lord is the object of Vedic prayers, and thus he understood that the devotees' prayers were meant for him. So devotional service or the glorification, prayers or anything, we can do only to the Lord. We cannot do it to any other person. Okay, neither to the demigod nor to the ordinary human being. When it comes to service, devotional service should be accepted only by the Lord, and the Lord is Krishna. Only He can accept it. Okay, we cannot say I'm doing devotional service to Lord, some other Lord, Ganesha. I'm doing devotional service to Durga. I'm doing devotional service to Parvati, Lakshmi. They cannot take devotional service. When you say devotional service, it can only be exchanged with the Lord, Krishna. And also glorification, prayers, everything. They can only be exchanged with only Krishna, nobody else. Okay, so this is a mistake that all of us commonly do, right? We consider all the other gods to be on the same platform, same as the Lord, and we start offering devotional service. But no. In fact, when you offer devotional service to demigods, how will even demigods know that you are praying to them? Krishna knows because Krishna is sitting in our heart as Paramatma. Demigods is sitting in our heart as Paramatma, no? How will they know that you are talking about them, you are talking to them, you are praying to them? It is again Paramatma sitting in demigod's heart. Paramatma sits also in demigod's heart, right? So Paramatma sitting in demigod's heart will tell the demigod, so and so person is praying to you, so and so person is talking to you. That's how the demigods get the understanding. Oh, this person is praying to me, right? So let's go and approach directly Krishna, not others, right? So before entering the water to rescue the earth, Boar flew in the sky, slashing his tail, his hard head quivering. Okay, so it's all the acts that out of happiness he's doing these acts. Okay, he's slashing his tail and he's flying in the air, right? And his hair is quivering, and then his very glance was luminous, and he scattered the clouds in the sky with his hooves and his glittering white tusk, right? So how does he rescue Mother Earth? Anybody knows? You can see in the picture. Directly he takes from the hand, is it?
With his tusks, Mataji.
Yeah, Haribol, yes. The Mother Earth does not even touch the skin of the boar. She doesn't even touch the skin of Vishnu. He places her on the tusk and he balances her. So beautifully he balances her. You can see in the picture, right? So this is a specialty. Um, and that's why his tusks are very important. Varaha we worship the tusks, the glittering tusks, right? And it's very nicely described in the Vedas as well. So he was personally the supreme Lord Vishnu and was therefore transcendental. Yet, because he had the body of a hawk, he searched after earth by smell. Right? This is also pastime purpose, right? When he came as Matsya Avatar, he started swimming in the ocean, right? Because he was fish. Same way, when he's come as a hawk, boar, he's boar's characteristic is to smell, right? There is food, where is filth, and all. The boar smells usually, pig smell, right? So same way, Varahadev also started smelling to find out where earth was hidden. He is the Lord. He knows very well where earth is hidden. Still, for pastime purpose, he was smelling the earth, where earth is hidden in the ocean, right? And his tusks were fearful, and he glanced over the devotee brahmanas engaged in offering prayers, and thus he entered the water. So these prayers was like encouragement for him. He was very happy to hear the prayers from these demigods and Brahma and all the brahmanas. Okay, and with that he went inside the water. Diving into the water like a giant mountain, Lord Boar divided the middle of the ocean, and two high waves appeared as the arms of the ocean, which cried loudly as if praying to the Lord, "O Lord of all sacrifices, please do not cut me in two. Uh, Kindly give me protection." So what is happening here? So when Varahadev entered the ocean. You know what happened? He kept his leg right inside the ocean. So when he kept his leg, the ocean divided into two parts. His leg is in the middle, and this part of the ocean and this part of the ocean. So it became two parts. And the ocean, the demigod of the ocean is praying to the Lord, saying, "Do not cut me into two pieces, right? And give me your protection," because he was in a wild boar form, right? Not polite, smooth, soft boar, wild boar, right? So, and he was huge. Anybody just by seeing him, people would like, get goosebumps all over their body, right? And huge waves appeared, and he divided the ocean into two parts, right? So that he can, make way and just walk through the ocean, right? So he penetrated the water with his hooves. Can you imagine? With his hooves, right? With his hooves, he penetrated the water, which were like sharp arrows, and found the limits of the ocean, although it was unlimited. Can you imagine? Nobody can measure the ocean's limit, right? All of us fail to. Nobody can measure the depth of the ocean, right? So far, maybe there are a lot of technicalities today, but ideally, accurately, we all cannot measure. At least manually, we cannot. But the Lord, because He is the Lord, what did He do? He found the limits of the ocean, right? Because Earth was hidden deep bottom, at the bottom of the ocean, right? So that's why He found the limits of the ocean, although it was unlimited. Can you imagine? Right? That is the greatness of the Lord. And He saw the earth, the resting place for all living beings, lying as it is if it was in a beginning of creation, and He personally lifted. So there's a clue that we get, right? At the beginning of creation, before the creation of the universes happen, all the universes will be resting in Garbhodaka ocean itself, right? So Narayana, what is the meaning of the word Narayana? Anybody knows? What is the meaning of the word Narayana? No one knows? Yeah, Navya?
Staying in Vishnu?
Sorry?
Staying in Vishnu?
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, Nara means all living beings, right? And Ayana means resting. So he's the resting place for all the living beings. So we all, after destruction of the material universe happens, we all go, we become a one, we all, go into deep sleep. Okay, and we go inside Narayana and we rest there, right? We will not have bodies or anything. We will all be resting deep inside him in the form of souls only. Okay, everything gets dissolved, and we become what is called as Mahat Tattva. Okay, Mahat Tattva, and then we rest in Narayana. That's why the name Nara Ayana, right? Ayana is resting, Nara is all living entities. So that is how the condition of Earth was. She was lying deep inside Garbhodaka ocean, as if she was in the beginning of creation, right? And we rest there, and again when creation is supposed to happen, Karana Nakshai Vishnu again gives us the forms. Okay, and then we go and we get forms. Universes are created. Again, Earth is created. All the other multiple planetary systems are created. Right. So, and that's how creation happens. So before creation, this is how the situation is. We all lie in Garbhodaka ocean. Okay. So Lord Boar very easily took the Earth on his tusks and got it out of the water. Okay. So he took the earth and placed it on the tusk, okay, with the tusks only. He never touches her, okay, and then takes and keeps it on his tusks, and he appeared very splendid, like the heroic characteristic comes out now, right? And also, who is Bhumi Devi? Anybody knows what is the relationship between Bhumi Devi and Varaha Murti? How are they related? No one knows. They are related, right? How are they related?
Mataji, Vishnu's brother's wife?
No.
No?
Bhumi Devi is Varaha Murthy's wife. Okay, so Varaha Dev's wife. So what happens is when she lies on the tusks, right? That's how it's considered to be marriage, right? Both of them get married that time, and his anger glowing with like the Sudarshana wheel. He immediately killed the demon Hiranyaksha, although he tried to fight with the Lord. So this is all happening in the see, there are two Varahadevs, right? Two Varahadevs come to this world. Anybody knows what are the two incarnations? How are they named? We learned this in the last class. One is Shweta Varaha. where it is white Varahadev. Okay. The next time he comes as red Varaha, that is Rakta Varaha. Okay. So this what we are learning is all about Shweta Varaha, where he is in white color. You can see in the picture, right? So he's white or bluish complexion. Okay, it's still white only, light. Okay, not red. So this incarnation he mainly comes to save Mother Earth. Okay, and so he kills the demon Hiranyaksha without fighting him. Like at once he kills him. Okay, because the main focus is on um rescuing the earth. Okay. Thereupon, Lord Boar killed the demon within the water just as a lion kills an elephant. The cheeks and tongue of the Lord became smeared with the blood of the demon, just as an elephant becomes reddish from digging in the purple earth. Can you imagine? So when he kills, what happens? That's how he gets the Rakta Varaha form. Right? Now he becomes Rakta Varaha. Because when he kills Hiranyaksha, the blood splashes on Varahadev and he gets the red form. Right? You can see. And that red is also reflecting the anger of Varahadev. Right? So the red form, Rakta Varaha. Right? And so the two forms, right? Shweta Varaha and Rakta Varaha. Then the Lord, playing like an elephant, suspended the earth on the edge of his curved white tusks, and he assumed the bluish complexion like that of a tamala tree, and thus the sages headed by Brahma could understand him to be the supreme personality of Godhead and offered respectful obeisances unto the Lord. So now what happened after Hiranyaksha was killed? He goes and keeps the Lord, keeps the earth on the tusks again, and just to protect her, leave her to wherever she belongs, right? And when he was holding her, he gets the Tamala tree. Tamala is the Shamala, the newborn monsoon cloud color, right? Krishna's color, that is. What do we call? Bluish black form, right? So you can see in the picture, bluish, dark bluish form he gets. And now everybody understands because of the bluish complexion, everybody gets the proof that he is none other than Lord Vishnu himself. Okay. Again, everybody starts offering prayers. All the demigods, Brahmanas, Brahma, right? Everybody starts praising the Lord, right? How do they praise him? It's a very beautiful snippet from Bhagavatam. I would request if you all have time or if you have Bhagavatam at home, please do go through this. It's very beautiful to read. Okay. So all the sages uttered with respect. Hmm. Uh, O unconquerable enjoyer of all sacrifices, all glories, and all victories unto you, you are moving in your form of a personified Vedas, and in the hair, O holes of your body, the oceans are submerged. Can you imagine? This is the Narayana form that I was talking to you about, right? At the time of dissolution, destruction, everything goes and rests inside Narayana, right? So that's why here it is said, right? You are Vedas personified, and the hair holes, right? The pores on his body, that is where all the oceans go and get submerged. Can you even imagine? That is Narayana, that is Vishnu, right? We cannot even imagine his glories, right? And for certain reasons, you have now assumed the form of a boar. And what are those reasons? To protect the Mother Earth and to kill Hiranyaksha. Oh Lord, your tongue is a plate of sacrifice. Can you imagine? Plate of sacrifice, right? Your nostril is another plate of sacrifice. In your belly is the eating plate of sacrifice, and another plate of sacrifice is the holes of your ears. In your mouth is Brahma plate of sacrifice. Your throat is the plate of sacrifice known as Soma, and whatever you chew is known as Agnihotra. So here, demigods are comparing him with the fire sacrifices. See, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I am the fire, I am the ghee that you offer, right? Clarified butter that you offer for the sacrifice. I am the sacrifice in itself, and I am the beneficiary of the sacrifice. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right? So he is the fire, he is the ghee that we offer in the fire sacrifice, he is the sacrifice in itself, and he is the beneficiary of the sacrifice, right? So, Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam. And that's why he's called Yagnishwara, right? Why is Krishna called Yagneshwara? Because all the yajnas are turning towards him. We are supposed to perform all the sacrifices to satisfy the supreme personality of Godhead only, not others or not ourselves, right? So all the sacrifice, that's why after any ritual or anything that we do, you might have seen all the brahmanas and all these pujaris saying Sri Krishna Arpanamastu, right? Because he is the sole beneficiary of all the sacrifices. That's why these demigods are using the term sacrifice here and describing his body. Can you imagine? They are comparing every part of his body to a sacrifice, right? It's beautiful to read. It's beautiful. But it is I who am the ritual. So this is what in Bhagavad Gita Krishna says, right? I just explained. I am the ritual. I am the sacrifice. I am the offering to the ancestors that we do, no, the Pinda Pradhan. I mean, during these death anniversaries and all that, we offer food to our ancestors, right? So Krishna is saying that that food that you offer, no, that offering is me only. Krishna is saying he is Lord Mukunda. So Krishna is called Lord Mukunda, right? Mukunda means liberator, liberator of the entire universe. He can give liberation to everybody, okay, because he is liberated. All demigods also receive liberation only from Krishna. Demigods cannot give you liberation. Nobody can give us moksha, right? Only Krishna can give us moksha, right? The healing herb, Ayurveda. Where is Ayurveda coming from? Again, the origin is Krishna. He's saying, I'm the healing herb, right? The transcendental chant, right? We chant, right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That chant is him, Krishna says. Even in 10th chapter, Krishna says, Yajnanam Japa Yajñosmi. Out of all sacrifices, I represent Japa, chanting of the holy name, Krishna says. I am the butter and the fire and the offering. Like I said, right? The sacrifice is also Krishna. Butter, the clarified butter that we offer, the ghee, that is also Krishna. Fire is also Krishna, right? So can you even imagine? That's why these demigods are describing him, comparing every part of the body to the sacrifice, right? Bhoktaram Yagnatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, right? So Shridi Sarva Bhutanam Jnatva Mam Shanti Marchati. Now, um, moreover, O Lord, the reputation of your appearance is the desire for all kinds of initiation. Your neck is the place of three desires. What are the three desires? Kamatanha, Bhavatanha, Vibhavatanha. Right? The desires that we have, no, mostly all the desires that we have, these all originating from the Lord only. So everything that is existing in the universe, right, that we can see, be it anger, be it love, be it politeness, be it rude attitude, be it lie, be it truth, everything is originating from the Lord only. Okay? Nothing can come to this world which is not present in the Lord. He is the origin of everything. Right? Anadiradir Govinda, Brahma Samhita, Ishwaraha Paramaha Krishnaha, right? He is the supreme Lord. He is the origin. He is the origin and he does not have an end or beginning. Right? So everything that comes in this world is originating from the Lord only. So the desires that we have, that are also originating from the Lord. The neck of Varahadev, neck of the Lord is the place of three desires that all human beings have, right? And your tusks are the result of initiation and the end of all desires. Can you imagine the tusks of Varahadev? If you go take shelter of the tusks of Varahadev, no, you start, rejecting the material world, the desires that we have, the material desires that we have, and you start getting initiated. Initiated means into the spiritual cult. You will take the path of spirituality seriously and you'll progress in spirituality, right? You will understand what does Krishna define the material world as in Bhagavad Gita. He says dukkhalem ashashvatam, right? It's place of miseries, and ashashvatam, it's temporary, right? So we will start practically realizing, oh yes, it is a place of misery. We will not get pure happiness here, right? If you go take the shelter of the tusks of Varahadev, easily we get to realize this fact, and we will always focus on going back home, back to Godhead, back to Goloka, right? Your tongue is the prior activities of initiation. Can you imagine? And your head is the fire without sacrifice, as well as the fire of worship. Fire of worship. The fire that we use for sacrifice is called fire of worship. Your living forces are the aggregate of all desires. I already told you, right? All the desires that we have in this material world originate from the Lord Himself, right? And these are very special prayers that demigods offer to Varahadev. So many facts to learn. Otherwise, we will not know all these things. Okay? So, oh Lord, your semen in is the sacrifice called Soma Yajna. Can you imagine? So, Lord, is being worshipped. We worship him. Why? Because the Lord has appeared. Okay. Just because Krishna has appeared in the form of that boar, we worship the boar. Otherwise, we all say, "Oh, pig, filthy animal. Nobody will go near that. It's a very dirty animal, right?" But we worship Vishnu in the form of Varahadev. Why? Because whatever he does, they are all transcendental. He himself is transcendental, right? So that's why here we are praising his semen also. His semen is a sacrifice called Soma Yajna. Soma Yajna is a particular type of sacrifice which is performed in this world. Okay, so your growth is the ritualistic performances of the morning. Your growth, he grew up right gigantically from the small nostril size. So his growth is considered ritualistic performances of the morning. Your skin and touch sensations are the seven elements of Agni Stoma sacrifice. So Agni Stoma is another kind of sacrifice, right? So there are different. Soma Yagna is one, Agni Stoma is one, Agni Hotri is one, right? So your skin and your touch sensations are the elements of these sacrifices. Can you imagine, right? Your body symbols of various sacrifices performed in 12 days. The joints of Lord incidentally. This is proved, right? Krishna shows the Vishwaroop to Arjuna, right? We understand this, where everything is um, transcendental. Everything is coming out from Krishna only. Eyes. Krishna's two eyes were sun and the moon, if you remember in Vishwaroop, right? So here they're comparing bodily joints of the Lord are sacrifices, other various sacrifices performed in 12 days. Therefore, you are the object of all sacrifices called Soma and Asoma, and you are bound by yajnas only. Can you imagine, right? Oh Lord, you are the supreme personality of Godhead and are worshipable by universal prayers, Vedic hymns, and sacrificial ingredients. So that's why we select, when we worship the Lord, when we glorify the Lord, we actually select the best of the verses, best of the words, right? Because to worship Him, we are not, it seems that none of us are even capable to glorify the Lord, right? Our vocabulary is not wide enough or vast enough to describe or glorify the Lord, to praise the Lord, please the Lord, right? That's the reason we go by prayers which are offered by great devotees. That's why, like Kunti Stuti, right? Prayers by Dhruva Maharaj, and then what is this, that moksha, the elephant that got moksha, right? Got delivered from the crocodile. So these kind of prayers we imitate because we are not capable enough to even pray to the Lord. Can you imagine? We are not even capable enough to pray to the Lord or praise, right? So that's why we go by the prayers offered by great devotees and demigods and to please the Lord, right? So we offer our obeisances unto you. You can be realized by the pure mind, free from all visible and invisible material contamination. Avajananti mamuda. Right? Krishna says, foolish people cannot realize me. Even if I descend, what did Shakuni say? What did Duryodhana say? Right? Pandavas were worshipping Krishna. They were looking at him like God. But these Duryodhana, Shakuni and all, they started disrespecting Krishna, right? That's why Krishna says, even if I come and stand in front of you, you will not even be able to recognize me. You will not even be able to recognize and worship that the Lord has come because they are foolish. What is that foolishness all around? It's around material desires, right? Desires for everything other than Krishna. I want money. I want big house. I want nice degrees. I want to become CEO of a company. I want big cars. I want villas. I want more dresses. All these things are material desires. These have nothing to do with Krishna, right? So, what is our qualification? What is our position in this world? Servants. How do we define? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, we are all, what are we? Who are we? Jivere Swarupa hai Krishna and Nitya Das. We are all eternal servitors of Krishna. Eternally, we are servants. We are not the enjoyers. We are not the boss. Okay. We cannot demand, okay, today I want this sweet. Do it and give me. I want this, job. I will work hard. I want so much salary. We are not the enjoyers. If you are given by Krishna's grace, if you get good salary, if you are blessed with all material opulence, nice house, big house, and all that, use it for Krishna seva, not for ourselves. Right? That's how we become pure. It says over here, pure mind, freed from all visible and invisible material contamination. We own nothing. Everything belongs to the Lord. We are beggars in front of the Lord. Okay, today if we've got 1 rupee for our survival, Krishna has given it to us. For some time it is going to stay with us. If he has given it, he can take it away anytime. Right? And also, how long are we going to stay here in the material world? We all know one day that death comes and vanquishes everything. Right? Mrityu sarva harashchaham. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Mrityu sarva harashchaham. Everything is cut, including the relationships. Today we brag about our relationships, right? Oh, my mother, my father, my brother, my friends. Everything is going to be cut by that one second called death. Right? Kala, eternal time. And after that, after the soul leaves the body, who will preserve the dead body? Everybody will say, first take the dead body and go, bury it underground or burn it, right? Nobody will say, oh, this is my friend. They say, this is my friend's dead body, they say. Nobody says, this is my friend. Nobody says, oh, this is my mother, this is my father. They say, oh, it's a dead body now. Right? That is the kind of respect we get. Why are we behind all this? But at any circumstance, if at all we get acceptance, it is only from Krishna, right? Even if you are born, say, okay, fine, now we are all humans, we are great, okay. Krishna is sitting in our heart as Paramatma. But even if we take as a worm, next birth, say we become a dog, Krishna still stays with you in the form of Paramatma in your heart, right? Say you become a plant, Krishna will still stay with you as Paramatma. You become a worm, bacteria, anything, microorganism, Krishna will stay with you as Paramatma as long as you are in the material world, right? Who does this? Who does this? And what do we give him in return? Krishna has come as a customized, localized form, right? If everybody is getting one version of Paramatma with us, and what are we giving him in return? Some people ignore Krishna. Some people say Krishna doesn't exist only, right? This is what we give him, and he still continues to accept us. Nobody does this in the material world, right? If you go on rejecting your friend says, okay, I don't want to talk to this person. She is not good. She is not polite, right? And they leave you and go. Nobody tolerates you in the material world. Krishna does, right? So our soul resort, the only person we got to resort to is Krishna all the time, and only Krishna, right? So there are fully engaged. So devotees are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the supreme personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. We offer our respectful obeisances to you as the supreme spiritual master of knowledge in devotional service. So that's why Krishna says, no, samoham sarva bhuteshu. I'm equal to everybody, but I'm more inclined towards my devotees. I become a friend of my devotees, right? I become a friend of my devotees. That's why Krishna favored Pandavas, right? And Arjuna won the war, right? He says, Samoham sarvabhuteshu namedveshyasti na priya ma e bhajanti tumam bhaktya maite teshu sapyaham. Krishna says, right? Yes, I am equal, but I'm more inclined towards my devotees and I will support them and I will help them, Krishna says, right? Even if it is through wrong ways, through cheating, still Pandavas won the war. Krishna allowed them to cheat. Why? Because Krishna said, for my satisfaction, everything is allowed, Krishna said, right? If you're doing it for Krishna, for Krishna's satisfaction, then you will not get the karma reaction, right? O lifter of the earth with its mountains, which you have lifted with your tusks, is suited as beautifully as the lotus flower with leaves sustained by an infuriated elephant just coming out of the water. Beautiful comparison. So here it says, lifter of the earth with its mountains. So in Krishna Leela, Krishna lifts the mountain, Govardhan Hill, right? With his little finger. Little finger, he lifts just one mountain, right? Why? To protect all the denizens of Braja and from Indra's breath, right? The anger and all that, right? Now, here as Varahadev, all the mountains are there on earth, right? And he lifts the entire earth. That means all the mountains, all the forest, oceans, rivers, everything. It's like a full package he lifts just with the tusks. Can you imagine? So this is the comparison we have, very beautifully explained. O Lord, as the peaks of great mountains become beautiful when decorated with clouds, your transcendental body has become beautiful because of your lifting the earth on the edge of your tusks. So here the appearance, the description is all about the form of the Lord, right? How beautifully the Lord looks, right? Decorated with clouds. Now he's in the sky, right? He's lifted the earth and he's in the sky. So here it says that the Lord is looking very beautiful, decorated with the clouds, right? And your transcendental body has become more beautiful because you've lifted the earth at the edge of your tusk. O Lord, for the residential purposes of all inhabitants, both moving and non moving, this earth is your wife, and you are the supreme father. So, this is another way of interpretation. When Krishna is our father, when Varahadev or Lord Vishnu is our father, and Bhumi Devi is our mother, right? We all reside on her, and she is taking care of her. So, Bhumi Devi is our mother. This way, also, again, there's one kind of relation where Varahadev and Bhumi Devi are related as husband and wife. Okay, so we offer our respectful obeisances unto you, along with Mother Earth, in whom you have invested your own potency. Just as an expert sacrificer puts fire in the Arani wood. Okay, so Arani wood is a sacrificial wood which catches fire by itself. Okay, so you don't even have to, take a matchstick or something and light the fire for the wood. That wood is specially meant for sacrificial purposes, and it just catches fire by itself, right? And so it's a special kind of wood. Okay, so here Krishna is compared to that. And who else but you, the supreme personality of Godhead, could deliver the earth from within the water? Right? It's only such. See, to deliver the earth, we need a lot of powers. Only Krishna has all those powers, right? That's why he comes, Vishnu comes and delivers the Lord, who nobody else can do it. It is not very wonderful for you. However, because you acted most wonderfully in the creation of the universe, by your energy, you have created this wonderful cosmic manifestation, right? For Krishna, it is not wonderful. He'll say, it's very simple. No, what is there? But for us, it is a superhuman activity, right? So we glorify. It's very important for us. O Supreme Lord, undoubtedly we are inhabitants of the most poised planets, the Jana, Tapa, and Satyaloka, but still we have been purified by the drops of water sprinkled from your shoulder hairs by the shaking of your body. So here we have the complete chart. In the material world, this is how the material world looks. Okay, the highest planet in the material world is Satyaloka. Satyaloka is where Brahma resides. Okay, after that it is Tapoloka, Janaloka, Maharloka, then Swarloka, Bhuvarloka, Bhurloka. Okay, Bhurloka is where we reside, earthly planets. Okay, we are all staying in Bhurloka. Then it is, so above the earth is like middle, Bhurloka you can see. Okay, 14 planetary systems are there. So Earth is the middle one. Above the Earth, they are all called higher planetary systems where great devotees, sages, learned people, they all reside, including Brahma, right, in Satyaloka. And then below the Earth, below Bhurloka is the Patala Lokas come. Okay, Patala Loka is again divided, right, into again 7, like Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Kala, Kahatala, and Rasatala, and then Patala. Okay, so Patala Loka is not hell. A lot of us have this confusion. Below Patala Loka is where hell comes. Okay, and that's where hell comes. Okay, not in Patala. Okay, Sutala Loka is where Bali Maharaj resides. Okay, so after Vamana Dev's Leela, we will be going through that. Okay, so this is how the planetary systems are divided. The 14 planetary systems. This is how the material world looks. Okay, now these three, no, the top one, Satyaloka, Tapoloka, Janaloka, these are considered very, very knowledgeable. Okay, only great sages with full of knowledge. They all know Vedas well. They have done a lot of meditation, austerity. Only such people get entry over there. Okay, so they are considered most pious. Okay, now they are saying, although we belong to such pious planets, still we are more purified with the drops of water sprinkled from your shoulder hair by the shaking of your body. Can you imagine? Because transcendental, Lord is always transcendental. Even sweat of the Lord is considered transcendental. It's considered amrita, nectar. Even saliva of the Lord is considered amrita, right? Nectar. So everything about the Lord is very, very special. He is Hari, right? Hari means all auspiciousness. Oh Lord, there is no limit to your wonderful activities. Anyone who desires to know the limit of your activities is certainly nonsensical. We cannot know the limit of the Lord's activities, right? So Krishna in Vrindavan, okay, once what happened? He saw himself in a mirror, okay, and he saw himself so beautiful. He had never seen himself in a mirror before, okay, and then he was like, "Who is so beautiful?" His own reflection he did not see before, right? So he's like, so beautiful. That means Krishna himself did not know his glories, right? Krishna himself does not know, even today, he does not know his glories, right? He does not know how powerful he is. He does not know how many powers he has, right? It's immeasurable. Even Krishna doesn't know. Just to know Krishna only, he came down in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, no? Right? Just to know his own powers, his own glories, right? His own love, his own happiness, right? His devotees' happiness, his devotees' mood. He was like, I myself, I need to know, right? So that's why he came down in the form of a devotee to understand Krishna, right? So Krishna himself doesn't know, and it is foolish if we are trying to measure his potencies, right? We can also not measure his potencies, never. Everyone in this world is conditioned by the powerful mystic potencies. Before, please bestow your causeless mercy upon us, upon these conditioned souls. Right? We are all puppets, right? Where is this mystic potencies coming from? Where is this condition coming from? We are all conditioned. Maya is the mystic potency, right? The Maya Shakti, the three modes of the material nature. We are all puppets under the three modes of the material nature, right? The three modes, Durga Devi is controlling us. We do not even know. Three modes, right? What are the three modes? Anybody? What are the three modes of material world? Yeah.
Sattva guna, Rajoguna, and Tamo
Yes, exactly. So these three modes are controlling us. We do not even know what we are doing. That's why we do bad things also, we do good things also. Right? When we are doing good things, we are under the goodness mode controlling us. When we do bad things, we are under Tamoguna, Rajoguna controlling us. Right? So we are controlled, we are conditioned. We do not have any independence. But Krishna is even controlling the material modes. Right? Krishna is even controlling Durga Devi. Right? That's why we have to surrender to Krishna. The moment you surrender to Krishna, what happens? We will not be under control of the material modes anymore. Right? So the sage Maitreya said, so this is being narrated by Maitreya Muni to who is that? Vidura. Okay, we discussed this in the last class. So the Lord being thus worshipped by all the great sages and transcendentalists, touched the earth with his hooves and placed her on the water. With his hooves, he takes the earth from the tusks and transfers her back to wherever she was. Right? In this manner, the personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, the maintainer of all living entities, raised the earth from within the water and having placed it afloat
on the water, he returned to his own abode. Can you imagine? So all the planetary systems are floating. We know this, right? All the planetary systems are floating. And they are floating on water. That's why Varahadev took the earth and placed it on water so that she floats. Okay. So it's by the energy of Balram that all these planetary systems are floating. If one hears and describes in devotion service attitude this auspicious narration of Lord Bor, which is worthy of description, the Lord who is within the heart of everyone is very pleased. Right? Can you imagine? So Krishna says, right? Satatam kirtayanto mam. Always think, glorify me, he says. Manmana, always think of me. What do you think of? What do you glorify? These pastimes. Okay, we need to keep on thinking about these pastimes and telling others also. One of the best ways is book distribution. Or you can tell so today I learned about Varahadev. You can tell your friends, you can tell your family members, you can tell your children at home, right? And that way, the person who is doing narrating the pastimes is doing kirtanam. The person who is listening is doing shravanam. So both of you are doing devotion service this way, right? And you become very, very dear to the Lord, right? And that is what we are all aiming for, right? We want to please the Lord and become dear to him so that we can go back to Goloka. Nothing remains unachieved when the Supreme Personality of Godhead is pleased with someone, right? Bhakta Vatsala. So when he got pleased by Arjuna, he's king of Dwaraka. He's the king of Dwaraka, Krishna. What did he become? He became chariot driver of Arjuna. Can you even imagine? Right? He can do anything for his devotees. He can do anything for his devotees. Right? To protect Bhumi Devi, he came as a pig. I mean, he came as a male pig. Right? He can do anything for his devotees. So our intention is not to go and ask Krishna, give me that, give me this. No, you go and do devotion service such that it pleases him. Our intention or goal should be to please him. If he gets pleased, he will give us everything we want. He is our father. He knows very well what we want, what we don't want. He will give you everything. You don't even have to ask. Okay, but so our focus should be on pleasing the Lord. What makes him happy? That should be our thought process. Okay, not what makes us happy. We should always think what makes Krishna happy and do that. Okay, so by transcendental achievement, one understands everything else to be insignificant. If we understand this, you will yourself start realizing, oh, I was just asking for a job. I was asking for this much salary. This is so insignificant, because the happiness that you get when you please the Lord, no, it is unmatchable. You cannot match it with anything. Okay. The one who engages in transcendental loving service is elevated to the highest perfectional stage by the Lord himself, who is seated in everyone's heart. Right? So when you want to please the Lord, the question is how, right? So Krishna says, Tesham satadayuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. If you worship me with love, first of all, we need to start loving him, right? If you love him, what Krishna says, dadami buddhi yogam tam, I will give you the buddhi, intelligence. I will show you the path to reach me. I will tell you how to please me, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. This is the promise he is giving us, right? So all we need to do is start loving Krishna and do everything to make him happy. That's all. And everything else will be guided by the Lord himself, right? So who other than one who is not a human being can exist in this world and not be interested in ultimate goal of life? Ultimate goal of life is to please the Lord and go back to Goloka. Nothing else should be our goal. Going back to Goloka is the only goal. How do you go back? By pleasing the Lord, right? And who can refuse the nectar of narrations about the personality of Godhead activities, by which itself can deliver one from all material pangs, right? Bhagavatam says, Shunvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanam, right? Hridantosti hi Badrani Vidunoti Sahritsanam. When you listen to Krishna Katha, these pastimes, right? When you listen to the pastimes of the Lord, these different activities that the Lord has performed, different incarnations, what happens? Krishna cleanses your heart of all the material desire. We have all bad qualities, right? Anger, lust, greed, and sense gratification. right? I want so much money, I want that, I want this. So many material desires are there, right? How do you get cleansed? How do you get purified? Just by listening to these pastimes. Can you even imagine? In Bhagavatam, it's said, right? It is said in Bhagavatam. When you listen to Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's incarnations, Krishna Katha, you get cleansed automatically, you become purified and you become a devotee. And then you can go back to Krishna. You can go back to Goloka. Can you even imagine? You don't even have to do anything. You just have to listen. Is it so hard? No, right? So let's all take this as a challenge and listen and also narrate it to others. Only then it will stay in our mind, right? Otherwise, how will you think about the past tense? Right? So these are the Dashavatar Leelas that we will be discussing. Okay. So we finished, right? Matsyavatar. We started with Matsyavatar and then Kurma Avatar, then Varaha Avatar we finished. Now next is Narasimha Avatar. Okay, this way we will finish till Kalki Avatar. That is the end of this module. Okay. So Hare Krishna, everybody. Any questions? Any doubts? Any clarifications? Any doubts you have? Anybody?
Mataji, I have a doubt.
Yeah, tell me, Mataji.
Mataji, there's a story about all the 5 Pandavas going to heaven, right, Mataji? Like on their way to heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah, that time, so Indra would have created an illusion saying that all the other Pandavas had gone to the hell except Yudhishthira. And that time Yudhishthira said, okay, fine, I will also go to hell if they are also there. Isn't that materialism? Why did they accept him to heaven, Mataji?
To be honest, I don't know the story in detail, Mataji. Can I learn about it and get back to you in the next class?
Yeah, sure,
Remind
Mataji.
me? Yeah, please
Yeah.
remind me in the next class, okay?
Yeah, okay, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Thank you
you.
all for attending. Yeah. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्य वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः आनंदकोटि वैष्णवेंद्र की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Thank you all. Join all in the next class for Narasimha Avatar. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.